so I'm just putting the tuners on the end, so they're pretty simple. I've just got this washer and this top nut bit that just slots on top, and then the tuner just comes in underneath, and then that just screws on and tightens like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure these are all straight. Make them roughly parallel to the edge. That looks pretty good, so I'm just going to go through and drill them in place one by one. Okay, so what I've done is I've just put the two E strings on, top and bottom E, and I've used that to make sure that's all straight and lined up. And then once I checked that, I was then able to put in I just put in these two bolts, screws, sorry, on either end to make sure it was straight. So now that it's looking pretty good and straight, I can put the other two screws in and then string the rest of the strings up and yeah, start getting it tuned. Okay, so the guitar's pretty much finished. You can see I've got the strings on here. I was going to film myself putting the strings on, but I'm really bad at it, so I figured I'll probably do the internet a favour and skip that. So all the strings are on. I've put the string trees in there, got the strap thingy there. Overall it's come together quite well. The only one little thing which you can kind of see there is the bridge hasn't really lined up with the pick guard, but you know, it's not a big deal. I could fix it if I wanted to, maybe one day. So now all I need to do is get the action and all that sorted. So I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but the neck's kind of bending that way a little bit, so that just means I need to I'll start by tightening the truss rod, because the bridge is fairly high already, but it's just going to take a lot of fiddling around, I think. Okay, so I think I've got the truss rod adjusted to where I want it to be. So all I did for that was I just play a string, and then if I got any fret buzz, I just kept tightening it. I also raised the bridge. I'm not sure if that's a little too high though, but guess I'll figure it out as I go along. One problem I am having, I don't know if you can hear it. They sound kind of, I don't know, not right. I think that could be a problem up with the nut, so I'm going to try and file in here just a little bit, and hopefully that should fix it. Okay, so I'm just having a little bit of problem with the wiring. I just plugged everything, I checked it all before, and when I plugged it into an amp and then just tapped it with a screwdriver, and that was producing sound fine. But then I screwed everything together and plugged it into the amp, and I couldn't get a noise out of it. So what I'm thinking and hoping the problem is, I think it's, if you can see those grounding wires, what could be happening is they could be coming in contact with the copper tape, and that could be causing it to short circuit. So what I'm going to try and do, and hopefully this works, is I'm going to try and clean up this soldering a little bit just to make that a bit neater, and then I'm just going to wrap any earthing wires to wrap them with some electrical tape, and then I'll give that a shot and hopefully that'll work. Okay, so finally got everything working. So you can see when I've got that in the back position, just got that plugged into an amp, and you can hear that there. Then if I switch it, and this one, nothing. Then if I switch it to middle, that one, and that one's not as loud. Not sure if that's an issue or not, but I guess I'll find out. And then forward, nothing from that one. And there we go. Okay, so everything's back together and working nicely. As you can see, so the next thing to do, so I'll just turn that off. So the next thing to do is set up the intonation. So I guess basic physics, if you've got a string this long, it's going to create a certain note, and halfway between should be an octave. So I've got my tuner here, my tuner there. So if I make that tune, so make sure if we go start with the E string, and then if I play the 12th fret here, that should also make an E. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's really sharp. So that means I need to adjust this saddle and bring that back a little bit.